decreases costs, it democratizes the creation process altogether, so you can have more creators in more spaces being able to create content that previously took hours, sometimes days, to share and to move back and forth. And I think that with that evolution, you're gonna see more and more content creators emerge as it becomes easier to transmit that data and to create that experience, and the quality too. The quality of the experience that you're going to get from a consumer standpoint is also going to continue to be enhanced and create a better experience overall.
Are we going to be left with too much content? A lot of what we talk about in these sorts of events is the democratization of content production. Anybody can create content, high quality content can be distributed. There's only so many eyeballs and so much time. So are we going to see a complete change in the way that people want to view content? Is user generated going to be the future? I mean, how are you looking at that?
Yeah, I mean, I think that from an advertising perspective, which is primarily what we think about, there is always this constant immunity that's being built as the certain types of ads become more prevalent. Years ago it was telemarketing. I don't know about you guys, but I receive 200 probably phone calls a day. I don't ever answer them anymore. Then it was ads on banner ads on websites, and I think soon and even currently sometimes video is no longer the way to catch someone's attention. It requires more than that because it's such a busy world and there's content everywhere. And I think that you're going to have to like we've been talking about, continue to evolve and create the personalized content, create custom content, create immersive content. I don't think that video is going anywhere, and I don't think that user eyeballs are going to stop being there. I think in fact there's going to be more places to consume that content. And it's just about, pushing those boundaries and pushing those limits and continuing to think outside the box, I think.
One of those, and can I do it real quick? I think Zeifman hit record. It was Joseph Gordon-Levitt's TV show where he basically crowdsourced the entire show. He would put out a prompt online, people can submit their videos, all these different things, and we kind of look at, if everyone can make content now and it's kind of these smaller pieces, is there any reason we can't get to the point where we can crowdsource basically a whole feature film or an entire video game, where everyone is individually contributing to it, and in aggregate you're actually getting to something that is able to stand out in these kind of smaller pieces. There was this amazing music video, and the creators had basically said, hey, we're gonna open it up, and everyone can basically color in one frame of the entire music video. And you have this kaleidoscopic view of something that would normally be probably pretty good if it was animated, wildly expensive, or you could open it up to an entire community that cares about this artist to each do an individual frame, and now you have something that, again, has not been made sense.
But are these fads, right? Is this people experimenting with technology? It's great, it's novel, there's a music video, then people move on to the next thing. When you're looking at content development, how do you take the view of what is a fad and what is something that is going to be scalable?
Yep, I think a lot of that at this point is both building out technological pipelines. So for example, we're working on a project, again, as you all know, I love tilt brush. So looking at and saying, what is one of the biggest costs to making an animated virtual reality project is the cost of asset creation and then generally animating those assets. What does Ryot have at its disposal is we have an incredible collection of artists that some of them utilize tilt brush, which can make digital assets very quickly, day of, multiple days, these incredibly intricate worlds, and we have a motion capture studio. So when you combine those things, you can start to get a pipeline where rather than taking months, if not years, hundreds of thousands of dollars to make a project, you can say, with a tilt brush artist and a couple days on the motion capture stage, we could be ripping out content that could be, same week turnaround up to, you look in the future, how do we do that same day to be reacting to news that happens in the morning in an evening show?
Yeah. And so I want to